What's up, family? Get this video a big thumbs up. So I guess the trend continues. I mean, I think this is what's going to happen until pretty much election day. Donald Trump is simply soaking up all the oxygen in the room. And I know the Kamala campaign continues in her pathetic attempt to paint Donald Trump's as old, tired, and clear cognitive decline. And they're trying to give him the Joe Biden treatment, except it's not going to work because it's totally unmerited, but they're certainly trying. This is a tweet from Kamala Harris headquarters, and basically it says, "Are you good at Donald Trump?" And the post says, as you guys can see, an exhausted Trump says no to another interview. So basically they're running with this narrative saying, oh, he's too tired and he can't get the job done. That's the narrative they're trying to set. But literally simultaneously as they're saying this, Donald Trump is bouncing around, executing big time. And I mean, performing during one of the most intense, rigorous campaign schedules I think I've ever seen. I mean, it could be no further from reality. Donald Trump does the Al Smith dinner, then shows up at the Brooklyn barbershop, or actually I think he might have shown up at the Brooklyn barbershop before the Al Smith dinner. But anyways, two events. Then he goes on Fox and Friends. Then he does an interview with Tyrus at Fox. And, you know, again, Donald Trump's doing more interviews in the span of 24 hours than the Kamala Harris does in a week, or really for the first 2.5 months for her, or for her entire, or of her entire campaign. But they're trying to say, oh, Donald Trump is exhausted. But at the end of the day, let's look at the reality of it. Yeah, no, Sherlock. I mean, if a young person like myself in shape, 25-year-old man, would be tired with this kind of grueling schedule myself. And my advice is stop with the phony narrative, stop with the straight up lying and manipulation, and maybe try to keep up, right? But let's have a conversation about this. Donald Trump is still in the spotlight, and we know it, but we got some stuff to dive into, so let's check it out, all right? All right, folks. So I really just want to focus specifically on the Al Smith dinner. I mean, the performance was absolutely legendary. You know, once again, in the Kamala campaign attempted to get ahead of it, and I want to show you guys what they had to say, because they did another tweet besides this one that you see before you on the screen. And this was the second tweet, all right? Now, this was basically saying Trump complains about the audience not laughing at his attempts at jokes. And it goes on to say, quote unquote, does anybody understand that? Do you understand that? Nobody got that one. In Trump's word. They basically quoted Trump, right? But, however, I want to play the clip so you guys can see the reality of it and what really occurred from as they're trying to make a narrative out of this, which is false, okay?
At me and said, don't. Does anybody understand that? Yeah. I thought it was actually very good until just now. It was announced this morning that at a funeral yesterday, in a rare moment of clarity, Joe told Barack Hussein Obama that, quote, only a few people got that. Or as Rush Limbaugh used to say, Barack Hussein Obama. Remember, bro? He was a piece of work. We miss him. But as he told Barack Hussein Obama, quote, she's not as strong as me. She's not as strong. Do you understand that? And Obama agreed, saying, that's true. Other than that, I think the Democrats are getting along quite well. Right? Nobody got that one.
No wonder it's not landing. It's a room full of partisan liberals, at least mostly partisan liberals. I mean, what do you expect? But again, Democratic narrative versus reality, right? They're trying to pretend as if Donald Trump bombed during this performance, but I'll say it was the exact opposite happened. But let's put together a little bit of a Trump highlight reel, shall we? And I want to show you guys what actually occurred, the reality of it.
I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz. Well, I'd better wrap up because Mayor Adams told me earlier that I needed to make this one very quick, especially the city has reserved this room for a large group of illegal aliens coming in from Texas. There's a group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris? Doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. major issue in this race is child care, and Kamala has put forward a concept of a plan. A lot of people don't like it. The only piece of advice I would have for her in the event that she wins would be not to let her husband, Doug, anywhere near the nannies. Just keep them away. That's a nasty one. Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't he look glum? He looks glum. But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president. If Democrats really wanted to have someone not be with us this evening, they would have just sent Joe Biden. Joe has almost disappeared from view. The only way he could be seen less is if he had a show on CNN. They had nothing. They've got nothing. Fake news, right?
Fake news, right? Fake news. Yeah, I don't know if that fits the definition of bombed. I'll say I experienced it quite differently than how the Democrats did, but I guess that's part for the course now, isn't it? But however, this is coming from the same people who claim that Kamala Harris absolutely slayed Queen during her pathetic appearance on Fox News with Brett Barr. But that's the narrative they're going with. Donald Trump absolutely sucked. I can't believe it. It's so off the mark that even Brett Stellar at CNN doesn't agree, folks. I want you guys to check this out.
A lot of folks, such as myself, who think...
Not that one. Sorry, family. Let me check. Let me go up. Leave it this one.
Feelings about what you...
Nope, not that one. It's actually this one. Sorry, folks. This is CNN. This is what I'm trying to show.
Make of this performance.
Oh, no, don't ask me first. I thought he was funny. I thought he actually got a few great jokes in. I thought the best moment was we talked about the assassination attempts and made light of what he's experienced, because I think he's experiencing real trauma, real PTSD as a result of the shootings, but he's still able to have a light moment in this room. And he took advantage of the fact that Kamala Harris wasn't there.
Which is really the subtext of this whole thing.
Exactly. That she didn't.
They're usually supposed to be in the same room.
Trump was funny, and frankly, again, he stole the show. He's everywhere. He's all over the media. He's doing amazing press events. He's doing a great job, and the optics, I'll say, are improving for him. And meanwhile, Kamala Harris is as well not even showing up to these events. She didn't show up to the Al Smith dinner. Now, instead, she's doing sketch comedy, and sending in her tape. And I want you guys to check this out. Just the video. Let me see. Just the video.
Feelings about what you should say tonight would be best expressed in a monologue from one of my favorite made-for-TV series.
Okay, let's hear it.
Don't you see, man? We need a woman to represent us. A woman brings more heart, more compassion. And think how smart she must be to become a top contender in a field dominated by men. It's time for a woman, bro. And with this woman, we can fly.
Oh, Mary Catherine, it's very important to always remember you should never let anyone tell you who you are. You tell them who you are.
Haters gonna hate, hate, hate. Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Good for you, Mary Catherine.
Oh, yeah, okay. And also remember one more thing. Don't worry if you make a mistake, 'cause Catholic people are very forgiving. Yeah, and also, one last thing I want to tell you. Don't forget to say, superstar!
Thank you, Mary Catherine.
Thank you, Kamala.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't know what that fake Lifetime sketch was, or a comedy sketch. It was so incredibly beyond cringe. But honestly, the cringe element isn't even really what I wanted to talk about. What I noticed from this hit and miss, this pathetic attempt at comedy, was simply a continuation of the trend. And here we have Kamala Harris, once again supposed to be the leader of the Democrat Party, unable to hold the stage herself, and she needs to piggyback off of another random D-list celebrity. In other words, she's not even a main act. She's a background actor, and, kind of like she's been her entire career. She's not cut out for this. She's not meant for this role. She's not a natural leader. She's not charismatic. She's not likable. And I mean, pretty much none of it. And I can't think of a positive adjective, and she essentially doesn't have it, or kind of barely has it. you know, a little bit on the edge. And she's just generally unimpressive. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is the main act. He's the main character. You know, some people have main character syndrome where they think they're the main character, and some people are actually the main character. Donald Trump is the main character, and everybody knows it. I mean, come on at this point. I think by election day, people are going to forget Kamala Harris was even running, at least the apolitical normies who aren't really paying attention. I'm sure there's a lot of people who jumped on the Kamala train when it was all buzz, all the hype. But at this point, some of these people are probably too busy living their lives, and they probably dropped it. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, Kamala, the Kamala thing. Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, did you vote? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where they're gonna be at with it, and that's the kind of feeling I'm getting. Like it feels like Kamala Harris' popularity is waning, and she's fizzling out the zeitgeist. And meanwhile, Donald Trump, well, he's the commodity, and he keeps on getting more and more popular. And again, even CNN can admit this, man. And I want to show you guys this video of CNN admitting it once again.
A lot of folks, such as myself, who think that Donald Trump's unpopularity is baked in. But here's the deal. If you believe that Donald Trump has somehow become less popular over time, let me change your mind about that. In fact, he is more popular at this point in the campaign than he was at this point in the 2020 campaign or the 2016 campaign. Look, he's still underwater, right, with a negative 9-point net favorability rating. But that is higher than he was in 2020 at minus 12 points when he nearly won. And it is way higher than the minus 27 net favorability back in 2016 when he did win. So I think there's this real question in Kamala Harris's mind, in the campaign's mind, why is Trump more popular now than he was at this point in 2020 and 2016? And I think that is why you're seeing the sharpening attacks, because they want to put him back down to here, or even there's no way that they're necessarily going to back down to here, but they want to make Trump more unpopular than he is right now, because he's more popular now than at either point in 2020 or 2016. The momentum of Kamala Harris has stalled. And I think they feel like they have to change something that's going on in their campaign, because they were seeing a rise and now it is stalled out. Look, she's still more popular than Trump. But look, Joe Biden was more popular than Trump, much more, and barely won. And Hillary Clinton was more popular than Donald Trump and lost. Being more popular than Trump isn't enough. She wants to continue to see her favorabilities rise, but in fact, they're going in the wrong direction at this point.
If it's a popularity contest, which a lot of ways a presidential election, you know, Trump is winning. A presidential election is a popularity contest. Sorry, family, but Trump is winning. That's my point. And it's not even close. And the Kamala campaign knows this, and they're coping, frankly, quote unquote, oh, Donald is too exhausted. He's canceling interviews. What 60 Minutes and NBC News? Yeah, no wonder. But meanwhile, he's pretty much everywhere. He's doing a great job, in fact. This might be the greatest Trump media blitz of all time, specifically because this year he's not only sticking to the mainstream media nonsense. You know, back in 2016, and even largely in 2020, he was only showing up on mainstream networks. He was doing the old school TV goulet, right? Well, this time I think he's learned his lesson. Why engage in these fake journalists who are all just handpicked talking heads when you can engage directly with the people through the actual grassroots names? You know, the people who got their positions because they built their own platforms, podcasts, independent sources, the people who actually sway minds, you know what I'm saying? And the people who actually have loyal audiences who are listening and paying attention. And of course, the environments where you could have an actual conversation without being derailed every 2 seconds by some fake news journalists who clearly got ulterior motives. And that ulterior motive is an attempt to destroy the orange man at any and all costs. Why engage in that kind of nonsense when you can pick and choose and be in all of the right places at the right time, right? But anyways, let the copium continue. That's clearly what Kamala Harris is failing. And Trump, well, he's just a different kind of animal, a different kind of breed entirely. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you leave a like. But on that note, family, peace.